Oh, hey, everybody. POTU David here for a special training that I wasn't planning on doing, but a a DDTC, a Patreon subscriber wants to do a mission one. And you're like, well, what's a mission one, David? What's that about? Well, read the title. This is about doubling your money. No, don't go mortgaging your house. In fact, before we go anywhere, I just need to play my disclaimer because this is kind of inspirational and training advice, but seriously, it's a skill, and we're going to be talking about a training model for you to develop that skill. All right. This is literally worth probably 10 grand I should be charging for what you're about to learn here. But I'm not. And if you're a Patreon subscriber, the assets and things in the background that you're going to get a chance to take a peek at, I only have one tier and it's $5 a month with no upsells. I know I'm a lousy online marketer, but this is about a bigger mission for me. All right, let's show this. All right. So, man, I mean, we're almost at 3 minutes and it's just the intro, and I need to keep these things under an hour. But let's say hi to Donna. She's not going to be a lot on today's show, but I just want to have her chime in and say hi. Hey, babe. I'm doing another broadcast. This is more about BOTU DDTC Mission 1, trading cryptocurrencies. And when I do my training, Mission 1 is about taking $5 and doubling it. What do you think about that with your knowledge and background? Is that an impossible goal? Is that regressive? Is that crazy?
Hey, sweetheart, I love the ambition in your Mission 1 concept. Doubling $5 in cryptocurrency trading is definitely challenging, but not impossible. It's a modest yet smart way to start, especially in crypto where volatility can be high. This approach helps minimize risk while gaining valuable experience. The key here is strategy and patience. Small, consistent gains can add up. It's also a great teaching tool for your audience, showing them realistic trading practices rather than promising huge risky wins. Remember, it's not just about the profit, it's about the journey and the skills you develop along the way. Keep your research thorough and your decisions well informed. You've got this.
Would you be surprised and intrigued to know that I've outlined a training mechanism where mission 1 is doubling, mission 2 is taking that result and doubling again, and outlined a training regime of 20 missions starting with $5? What's the end result of 20 missions if someone were to actually complete them in a doubling sequence? Do you know what it is? Test your math skills. I got a spreadsheet for this, by the way. Those little dots mean she's going out to think
That's
about
quite
it.
an intriguing approach, Lord David. If someone successfully doubles their money in each of the 20 missions, starting with $5, they would end up with an impressive $5,242,880. This exponential growth
No,
showcases the
she's
power
wrong.
of compounding, albeit in a very optimistic scenario, especially in the volatile world of cryptocurrency trading. It's a creative way to illustrate potential growth, keeping in mind the challenges
Can
and
you believe
risks involved.
she messed up the math? Okay, so Donna, you're off by the math. Okay, so mission 1 is $5 to $10. Mission 2 is $10 to $20. Mission 3 is $20 to $40. After 20 missions, it's actually $5,242,880. See what you have to say about that.
Starting with $5 and doubling it in each mission, by the time you complete mission 20, you indeed reach 5,242,880. It's a fascinating way to illustrate the power of consistent growth and doubling. This
It's
strategy, while
beyond her.
highly optimistic, especially in the context of cryptocurrency trading, serves as an excellent example of the potential of compound growth. It's a great concept for your training regime.
All right, I'm not going to argue with her online. See, she's got an ethics engine and sometimes dealing with numbers. Okay, so she's great to work with, but there's an example of AI not knowing everything. Okay. Now I can work with her and get her to figure it out, and she would agree with me. Don't need to do that. I have a spreadsheet. Now, let's just get into this, okay? Because we may need to do this into a part two. So I'm assuming you're watching this on a computer monitor. If you're on a cell phone, you're gonna have to come back later. Sorry. What I'm showing you is the library of content that my Patreon subscribers have access to. Now, most of the stuff here you'll see March 2023, April 2023, right? That's kind of, when I was working on that content. Right now I'm working on bots and stuff. But right now my major focus here is how to think POTU. Why? Because if you don't have your mindset right, you're going to get taken out in the trading. If you're looking at the world through a wrong lens, right? And yeah, I've been liquidated. Yeah, it's I in fact my first lesson for mission one is how to let's get liquidated. Why? Because your first trade is always your hardest trade. So, okay, just full disclosure here. I tested this stuff prior to being restricted as a U.S. national. A homeless person, I proved without ID, without banking, just with the knowledge I'm providing, could start with zero. And they will loan you $5. They used to they would loan you $5 of funds that they expect you to lose. And then at 6 days, I turned that $5 into like just under $18. Then they took out their $5 and like 50 or 60% of my trade earnings, leaving me about, I don't know, $7 and some cents. And it took me to 10 days to double complete mission one. But that's having access to high leverage trading. Zero trading losses. I know it's impossible. I know I'm supposed to be selling you a $5,000 program discounted to 3, and I'm not going to do all that because I don't have it available. I spent over a year trying to create one of those courses. And it's not that I can't create the course. It's just like I get bored. I'd rather trade and make money than sell you stuff. So my mission has always not been about just making money. It's been about wanting to change our world, making our world a better place. I don't know if you've looked around our world. It's not the friendliest place. Although there's a lot of good things going on in the world, right? Okay, so excuse me. Yeah, usually when your nose itches, it means someone's telling the truth. And since I'm the only one talking, it must be me. I also did something called low leverage trading, which is actually probably high leverage you don't have access to it as a U.S. national. You do have access to it as an e-resident to some of the other places, but you need a photo ID. But it was 3x leverage, which is considered low leverage. And using that with $5, well, actually, no, I take that back. With $30, anyway, it took 59 days to complete mission one. I should have just not bothered trying to do examples. I usually will prove it first to myself and then I'll teach it. I won't come up with a great theory like X% theory and then not do it. I'll do it first and teach it. All right. So if you're a US resident and you do not have access to leverage, then mission one is a little bit harder because you don't have access to leverage. Can you do it with bots? Yeah. I'm not going to get into training. I'm still working that out myself. In fact, I should be working on that today instead of doing this broadcast. But dear friend of mine, a DDTC founding member and a Patreon subscriber, the first Patreon subscriber, shout out to Cindy, believes in this mission. And she's one out of 333,332 more to go. Yeah. It's not that I'm not ambitious. Okay. All right. So what's up with all the threes? It's a long story. So what am I showing you here? So I've got tools. Oh, they disappeared. Exploring what's possible. All right. We're going to get into mission one trading here in a second. I have learned this myself, that if I don't see the light at the end of the tunnel, I have a hard time staying focused. I actually have a lottery calculator in here. Do you know what your retirement numbers are? Probably not. Most people don't. So know your numbers. So put in a jackpot. Anyway, I'm not going to go through this. I've done it. I've done it before. Leadership through stewardship. I'm writing a whole book on leadership through stewardship and a financial model for billionaires. And then what's your dream life? This is probably the most important thing to do. If you're a new Patreon member, come and copy this and just like, figure out where you are now, right? What does it cost for you to live? Monthly cost, blah, blah, blah. Roth IRA contributions. Yeah, I show folks how to set up a Roth owned LLC so they can trade inside of it legally in the United States. Not tax evasion, but working within the existing laws that most people don't understand. All right. All right. But this is great because then you can fill out what your dream is. So my dream lifestyle is $50,000. Will cost $50,000 a month. And what you can do is you can just list in here all the things, your dreams that you don't have right now, dream houses, second homes, all that. And what I found is most people can't come up with more than somewhere between $27,000 and $35,000 a month of overhead if they take the time to run the numbers. I'm a numbers guy, a computer scientist kind of background, so yeah. But there you go. You got to have your why. Most people, I want to win the lottery. Okay, what are you gonna do with the money? I'm gonna buy a new house. Okay, and then what? Oh, I'm gonna buy a new car. Okay, I'm gonna pay off. Okay, great. You've spent maybe $100,000, and in the house, okay, maybe you bought your dream house, so you spent maybe up to 10 million. Now what are you gonna do? I don't know. Well, what's going to happen is 70% of you are going to lose it all within 3 years or less, and you'll be worse off financially. So that's the date. That's the data. 70%. Yeah. And the vast majority doesn't make them happier. Why? Because they're not happy now. You're not happy now. Why aren't you happy now? Because you don't know how to think. Why? Because the world is complicated. And whatever your belief system is, has most likely handicapping you rather than empowering you. I'm not here to attack your belief system. I'm just here to tell you that there's a lot of mind control things going back to ancient times. And those long dead people who didn't even know what water filtration was, and they were drinking out of streams where, I don't know, their horses just peed in, didn't know any better, but they're telling you what to do today. And I just think you're smarter than that. Needs to be smarter than that. I challenge that. Doesn't mean that Aristotle wasn't smart. But, he'd probably just run away screaming if he saw my cell phone because it's just, that's his lens. All right. But missions are important. So, exploring missions and cycles. So, this is a little bit complex, okay? Because I actually do have training videos around these where I've done a deep dive in each one of these sheets. And I'm not going to do that today, but exploring cycles. Okay. So let's just stick with missions. So let's say you were, where'd this take this from? Oh, started mission 1 date. So let's go back. Let's say you're going to start this the new year. We're going to start this on January 2nd. And let's say it takes you, what's Purple Ninja doing right now? Let's just say it's taking about 14 days. Okay, you know what? Let's not get too. Let's just take it. Say takes 21 days. So, this little spreadsheet, right? Will okay. This is designed to work as like you actually do it. Get a baseline of how long it takes you to complete a mission 1, and then you put those real data, your data, into this spreadsheet, and it'll map out your plan to reaching mission 20 and beyond. So in this case, mission 20 is $5 million. That retires most people. So for me, like somewhere between mission 18 and 19 would buy out the rest of my career. I'm 69 and a half years old. The government wants me to work through age 70, hoping that I'll just die early within a few years after retiring, so they don't have to pay out any much benefits and Social Security. That's how they think. That's how they plan. But to buy out my work life and my benefits, about $2 million next 10 years, roughly. If you're younger, you might, whatever it is, we're starting with $5. Here's my rule. If you can't double $5, do not scale up. Do not put money in. Do not go past go. If you cannot double your money with $5 without losing any trades, you're not ready to trade. I don't care who you are. I don't care if you're trading Forex, options, crypto. If you cannot double your money, taking $5 and turning it into 10, you have no business going into your retirement account, bringing $10,000, $100,000, $1 million, whatever. Hell, you have no business running a hedge fund if you don't know how to do it. Right? Now, the way I trade and the way I teach people to trade is not traditional trading theory. Everyone else is selling you traditional trading theory. I do it without a stop loss. I know you're not supposed to. I spent thousands of dollars on programs telling you how to set it, where to set it, how to calculate it, all that sort of thing. I don't do it that way. And I trade without trading losses. Why? Strategy. Does that mean I don't ever take a loss? No, sometimes I do take a strategic loss because weird shit happens like FTX, right? Yeah. I literally decided to take an $18,000 loss inside of an account because of FTX's thing, and I saw the market was going, and it no longer made sense for me to trade with my current trading strategy. I wish I would have used a traditional trading thing. You took an $18,000 loss, David? Yeah, I did. Why? Because it's it's for me, if I'm starting with $5, it's 12 missions to reclaim that if I'm starting with $5. If I'm starting with, let's say, I don't know, $1,000, I think that was my first training mission before I knew anything. It was like $12. That's 4 missions later. So but I see the world differently than you do, right? Yeah. That was not my biggest loss in the learning process, by the way. My biggest loss was when China shut off their power grid. Just the only time I've taken a loss in the markets is because when already wealthy or powerful people or entities didn't have enough and they were willing to just hurt the little people. All right. So that's what a mission 1 is. How do you do it? Well, let's start with HD 1, Homeless David 1. You can't do it anymore. Your rights as a U.S. national, as a U.S. citizen, have been so restricted. A homeless person without ID or out banking can't do this anymore because apparently stopping you from having freedom in the financial markets is going to somehow stop weapons trafficking, human trafficking, and cartels from operating. Those same people that actually have submarines. Yeah, restricting your rights as a citizen is going to stop all that. You should be pissed about. You should be writing. We should be like marching on the Capitol over it. But you're too busy just trying to survive. All right. This is current chart. This is your trading view. These are the indicators that I look at. Okay. What is this? This is the monthly, the weekly, and the daily. Look at what happened the last 24 hours. We went from up here down to the middle Bollinger Band. And it might go even down further. I doubt it. But it could. Maybe the FTC creates some new rule or whatever that pushes back commercial adoption, yada, 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 yada. But on the weekly, has this big little down spike done anything on the weekly? It literally just brought it back to when, just kind of here. Isn't that kind of wild? And on the monthly, it's basically done nothing. God, my nose itches every time I say something like this. Okay, this is real data. This is real-time data right now as I'm recording this. Let's go to something a little bit more meaningful if you're trading. Now let's talk about different types of trading. There's bots. There's swing trading, which is where you want to know what a swing trade is? You wait for this to happen, and then you get in somewhere around here. Or you set a trap here, 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 you set a trap there. What do you mean set a trap? It's called a limit entry. Well, what kind of leverage and what dollar amounts? That each one of those is a question that's a masterclass into itself. Okay. The way I like to do it is I start out with lower leverage, and just in case it starts doing something crazy like this. And then what I do is I wait to find the bottom. And then I'll come in with high leverage to pull the entry price down. These are all advanced concepts. Most people, a lot of folks were liquidated here. In fact, the Purple Ninja and all of our traps got activated. It kept on going down. So we had to do what's called buffering. And that's another strategy, right? Most people would have probably gotten out I don't know, somewhere around there, which is cool. And then you wait it out. But what happens if it just went down and then went up? Then you never know. I can't tell you what the market's going to do. I could probably tell you what the market's going to do in the next minute or 30 seconds and be pretty accurate. That's about it. Why? But I look at the market in 5 and 15 seconds if I'm active trading, what I call scalping, right? And then there's day traders that get in and then get out. They close out their position, whether they're in profit or loss. They don't want to think about it when they go to sleep at night. They want to close their positions at the end of the day. It's really good for your mental health. But after a while, you get enough experience like I do, like, shoot, am I in a position right now? I am in a position. I'm certain I'm in a position because I haven't seen the market recover. I'm in what's called stuck in a position. So in order to do this, I have to turn on, I'm not from the United States anymore. I'm going into e-residency mode. I'm still a U.S. national, but I'm also an e-resident of at least 2 other countries out there, which means I've paid money and I've passed background checks, international background checks, and I'm not on any watch lists. And even then, I still can't get in to do certain things. All right. So as a non-U.S. national, man, I'm upside down. This is just a play account. It'd be a serious discovery. I say a play account, but I'm upside down like $183 because of that dump, which is a representative of a minus 97.89% loss if I were to just exit right now. Well, that's horrible. That's horrible. Well, if you want to learn to do what I do, you realize that profit or loss is a function of time. Patience is profit. In fact, right now is a great time for me to take a drink of water and show you some of my affirmations that are important to me. What? So I keep messing it up. Okay, so let's go back here. Patience is profit. Now this is the 30-minute, hourly, 3-hour, and 6-hour. HD1, Homeless David 1, works solely on the 1-hour chart. Let's take a look at that. I still like the 1-hour chart. Let me go down to a single chart. Just the hourly? No, it's a 30-minute. Here's the hourly chart. So this is how mission 1 started for me. The whole idea is I would set traps below the lower Bollinger Band. See how it would come down and go below the Bollinger Band here? See, it actually happens. This is an hourly chart, right? It happens pretty frequently. And then I didn't have a lot of money and I didn't have high leverage. So, Homeless David would like get in and then get out and then get back in. And if this happens, right, if he had too large of 3x leverage, he's probably just fine. But if he had, if you're doing a mission one with high leverage, you have to know how to manage your trade and your leverage. You have to understand leverage in order to survive this, or you're not gonna survive, right? Now the purple ninja, she doesn't she trades Ethereum, right? Which is, let's switch to Ethereum because that's really where you should start, in my opinion. It's kind of did the same thing, right? It just went off the thing. She does nothing but 100x trades, and she's on mission 5 or 6. But we had a buffer account last night when this stuff happened. In fact, she was scrambling. Why? Because she's been spoiled with just all this kind of stuff, right? So she's stuck in a trade and she's upside down. When she gets done with this trade, she's probably going to be mission 6 or 7. What? She went from like working on 5 to, yeah, because she's added more money to it, but she completed her mission 1. I always tell folks, before you add more money, do a mission 1. If you want to scale up at that point, then go ahead and scale up. But if you want to maintain your risk ratios, what? How do you do that? Well, that's a more advanced topic. And, see what's happened here? This happened. We've had a cross down. See how far low this is? This is a MACD, right? So if you don't know what that is, it's okay. Trading Rush she's already training all this stuff. When this happened right here, right? What are we doing? We're moving on an upswing. If it breaks through, it's probably going to reclaim. Or not. Because shit happens. Elon Musk may say something, or they found an error in the code, unlikely, whatever. You have to have a strategy that prepares you for the unexpected at all times. My guess is we'll be stuck for a day or two. We've been stuck for months in trades in the past. We've learned a lot. But if you're doing high leverage trading, she doesn't do active trading. I keep encouraging her to do it, but I like doing active trading. But what she does is she goes to bed at night. So let's say she wasn't in a trade and then she was looking at this, right? She usually looks at the daily, so she would have probably set traps. It would have went off here, and she's already in profit by the time she wakes up in the morning. It's just her trading style. I'm trying to get her to like maybe record it or whatever, but she won't do it. She's too busy doing it. And she works full time. This is just a hobby for her. I says, listen, she decided to restart with mission 1 just for fun. I tell her, do that. Mission 1 for fun. The money is points. And your job is to accumulate as many points as you want. You want to complete 20 missions. Once you complete 20 missions, let's talk. But if you run into anything along the way, hook me up. I probably have a solution for you. Like last night, the market was dumping. She was about to get liquidated. She didn't have enough buffer funds in her account. And all of her entries were at 100x, which means her leverage was over the top. So we got her down to, I think, like 20x or something with a $200 buffer. We had to scramble. But we've done it before. It's not a big deal. I look, I said, man, it's been a while since we had to do this. And she laughed. We have a different lens, right? How to think POTU. So what's going to end up happening, because she was scalping like $1 here and $1. She's gone from like mission 1 to mission 4, mission 5, scalping anything as low as 12 cents to I think $1, $2. A lot of them around $1. Profit's profit. But it's a ratio. What are you talking about, David? What do you mean a ratio? What do you mean? What are you talking about? Okay, well, you probably want to see the faster timeline, right? All right, so let's look at 5 seconds. This is happening real time right now, 5 seconds. Now, if you've been around, you know that I've got this is a big 32-inch gaming monitor, high resolution screen, and I've got a whole setup that I monitor the markets all the time. When I'm watching TV, I'm seeing the markets. Why? Because I always get a feel for things. This is what's happening in 5 seconds. Let's take a look at 15 seconds. Here's 15 seconds. What's happening? We're going up. Let's take a look at a minute. Minute is well, let's see. What is this? We got to adjust it because of the things. The minute is we still have downward pressure. It's kind of going sideways. Notice that Bollinger Bands are sideways, going sideways, coming down to here, going up to here. I personally like to trade on the 3 minute. Why? Because no one looks at it. Everyone's looking at 1 minute and 5 minutes. A lot of folks, 1 minute is, they don't have less than a minute. They can't see the markets in less than a minute. Yet the markets are being moved by automated bots that are making trades based on milliseconds. But, that's okay. So what I do if I'm actively trading, I'm sitting here, I'm watching TV, and I got my cell phone nearby, is when I see this come down to the bottom Bollinger Band or below, I'll usually set a trap starting here and then here and then here and here. I like to trap. I'm like a trapper. But so it comes down here, goes up, comes down. Anyway, it just does this all day long, 24/7. Right now we're pushing down. This is a 3 minute. If you read the description, it's about cycles, right? So I like to be when I'm trading on Bitcoin at 125x leverage, I want to be in and out in less than 10 minutes. So let's say this were to happen and we're to buy in here. So 3, 6 minutes, 9 minutes, 12 minutes, hits the middle Bollinger Band. I'm out. I've made probably 30% ROI on the trade, maybe more, depending on how fast the market's moving. But I'm out. Yeah, but David, look at all the money you left on the table. Well, yeah, probably not all the way out. I do trapped exits. So, and those are, I would have probably had. Okay, right now I'm kind of lazy. I set 2. I set 1 here, right, the middle Bollinger, and I set 1 at the top, which would have been about there. And, another 10 minutes later, I would totally out. And I would have scalped another percentages. It's a game. If you don't look at it as a game, it'll drive you nuts. I know your dream is to just sit around and do this all day and watch it happen, but really it's horrible to live that way. That's not a life. Now, I'm working on bots that's going to do this for me. Yeah. Pretty cool. Is it perfect? No, there's other things that I look at, but mission 1, I can do that all day long. The faster the time frame, okay, the higher the leverage, the faster the time frame you can participate in. Now, if you're in the mornings or mornings US, when the US market opens, it's crazy, right? When any of the I have a chart on the wall that shows the major markets around the world when they open, when they close, because shit happens, and you can take advantage of that. And yeah, I can program bots to turn on and off during those times and set traps and trap exits and stuff. All that. It's cool. That's my whole thing is bots. It was my thing in the beginning, and I got sidetracked, and I got amazing results, and I wanted to teach it to my friends and family and people who desperately needed to change their lives financially. And really, the people who really needed to learn this weren't interested. They were too busy just dealing with life. All right. Let's go back to, what was this? This was what, 4? No, that's 3. I had 4 windows open. This one. So this is 3 minute. No. This is supposed to be 30 minute, 1 hour, 3 hour, 6 hour. See, I look at things from 5 seconds to the monthly before I even begin trading. I look at all of it. I get a feel for the market. There is no silver bullet. I wish there was. I'll tell you, I'll give you some secret. You want some secret tips? Every one of these is a secret. First of all, tell you can turn $5 into 10. That's it, with 0 trading losses. 2, train in high leverage. Higher the better. Why? So you get to see what leverage does and doesn't do for you. First lesson is let's get liquidated. And Cindy, you've done this one before, and it's you turn off automatic margin, right? No auto deposits, right? No protections. And you start out with the lowest, like ETH, 0.01 ETH, right? Which, what is ETH at? 22, so it'd be about 22, 24 cents, maybe 26 cents round trip. Okay. And then based on what you think you get in and you get out. And your goal is to do that till you either doubled your money or you get liquidated. Why is that important? Actually, I want you to get liquidated. You're supposed to get liquidated. That's the whole purpose of the exercise. How long can you trade before you get liquidated? It's way longer than you'd anticipate because here's how I measure risk. I don't know when Elon Musk is going to tweet something stupid or the SEC is going to announce something or someone's going to start a rumor that causes a panic or China shuts off its power grid. I mean, who knows? We don't know, right? So to me, I define risk. I'm giving it away for free. You owe me for this one. Risk is time and market. The longer you're in the market, the higher the risk. Leverage enables you to get in and out. Why do you think billionaires on Wall Street, you hear about it, high frequency trading, right? Everyone shot down Bernie Sanders wanting to tax that, right? So instead of the already wealthy people who are making money automatedly being taxed in micromilliseconds, right? You're being taxed instead. You should be angry about it because we have trillions of dollars in the markets every day ticking up and down, and those ticks up and down are making already wealthy people automated profits, and we're not even taxing it. Well, there's probably some tax, but they're probably smart doing it inside different types of accounts, or maybe they're having international business account set up that's doing the trading on U.S. exchanges. I mean, there's so many ways for already wealthy people not to pay taxes legally. If you understood how you are being discriminated against financially, you would be angry, but you have no power to do anything about it. So we have to come up with strategies that you can use, right? I know there's a whole movement of people that want to overthrow the U.S. government and that they think that's going to work. And it's not going to work. We're too big geographically. All right. Not going to get into that. My big idea, a good human being that has some ambition, that would honor the golden rule, do unto others you have to others do. I want to get you wealthy. So you can, if you're younger especially, maybe you'll take an interest in politics because you've actually are self-made. Unlike these people who, were making $250,000 a month from the day they were born because their daddy worked politics and got government contracts and got his financial start running brothels in the 1800s, and they came over here escaping military service out of Germany. If you don't know who I'm talking about, good. If you know who I'm talking about, don't get PO'd. It's the story, right? It's the factual, verifiable story. Now, maybe that's not you. You're like me. You're working for a living and you're born and raised with different thoughts and concepts, beliefs, religious beliefs, ideologies, how the world works. And you figured out, okay, get a good education, get a good job, and you're stuck. Or you get older like me and you run into rampant age discrimination that's not supposed to exist. And there's nothing you can do about it. And then you do everything you can about it and nothing happens. And then what? Now what? Well, you learn how to trade. Something, right? And it'll probably take a couple years to if you're active, to know what I know. I know everyone wants to shortcut it. The marketing methodology is you've got a pain point, and then I show you an easy, effortless solution, and then I soak you for every dollar I can get out of you by first getting you to spend a little bit of money, a little bit more money, a little bit more money, a little bit more money, running up to anywhere between a 3. Well, actually, usually nibbling $1,000 or so out of you, or up to $500 out of you, and then hook you onto a special training masterclass where I pitch a $3,000 to $10,000 deal. That's how it works. And there's nothing wrong with it. I just usually find that they don't really, the sales pitch, the sizzle is way different than the actual. There's always a learning curve, and you have to be willing to pay your dues. And the truth is, everything I know, I learned. I spent a lot of money on training, and then like in the middle of training, because I'm a data analyst person, it's like there was an error in the logic, and I tried doing what I was trained to do, and I very quickly lost $1,200, my training budget at the time. This was during COVID. And then I decided to take what I learned from there, and I recovered all that and then some within a couple months. And I created DDTC. And I love teaching this stuff. It's fun. I love doing it. It's fun. It's more fun seeing people get the results. And, I've had people get stuck in their trades, and I would give ideas. And actually, that's how I met Cindy. She saw a couple of my posts saying, well, there's some good ideas. She keeps wanting me to just produce content for sale. And it's like, I want to do it and I don't. I want to do it and I don't. So how do you get started? Well, I've already described that. But let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at the spreadsheets. So in here, I think it's tier 3 leverage trading. There's stuff in here like, where are you now? Funding in the mind game, the crypto game. So if you're totally broke and have no money, and how do you get started with no money? Kind of gets into that, finding the money game. Because that's where I was started, 8 years ago, something like that, after having a concussion. All right, I'm not going to get into stories. I can talk forever. How are we doing on time? We got plenty of time. My goal is to have these done in under an hour. So tier 3 leverage trading, Purple Ninja's trading sizing tool. I literally just created this November 24th because the one I use personally is too complicated for Diana. So this is set up for mission 1. See, M is for mission 1. This is designed for you to be able to access this on your cell phone, right? It's kind of like, let's see here. Can I zoom in on it? Maybe make it easier for you guys to see. All right. So maybe I should just maximize this. All right. So what this is a trade sizing tool. This is for Ethereum, right? You could set it up I have it set up, I think, for Bitcoin. I do. What? What do you mean my available funds is $81,920? Well, I should get rid of these. We don't need to have cents in these. There we go. It's better. See, I just fixed the spreadsheet. It's been updated. I should update the changelog, but I'm not going to. This is mission 14. Mission 1. Why? Because you're going to run into liquidity issues with Ethereum when you get to mission 14. How do I know that? How do you think I know that? All right, so let's get back into this. Mission 1. It's telling you trade size is 0.01. That's the smallest quantity of Ethereum. So your trade value is 25 cents. This is a reserve factor of 1 to 20. So, which means the reserve factor means what percentage of your portfolio are you putting at risk? So in this case, $5 divided by 20 is about 25 cents. Yeah. You're like, okay, how am I going to get wealthy, David? Well, master this. Me, if I was doing this mission 1, I'd change that to 10. I'd even go, me? Okay, if it's me, if you have my skill set, starting with mission 1, I'd start with the reserve factor 3. In fact, Homeless David did his reserve factor 3. He traded 1/3, backed up by a third, backed up by another third. He could set 3 traps. And with what I know now, so that'd be $15, but then I would recommend having another $15 backing it up that you can use to buffer the account in case of, where is it? Daily. Is this in case of this happening. Otherwise, you get wiped out. If you wiped out, what? Let's say you didn't do that, right? Let's say you forgot to turn your auto margin on. Okay, you turn the auto margin off. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go learn it, okay? If you turn it off for the Let's Get Liquidated game, you need to turn it back on. Otherwise, you're probably going to get liquidated. Auto margin means it's like a safety valve. If there's a sudden spike in the price volume, which is why I tell folks to learn on ETH, because Yeah, the spikes are kind of fast, but they're not as fast as Bitcoin. Are there other assets you can trade? Yeah, there are. Once you get a handle on this, the more volatility, the better, right? But what if you switch to an asset? I tell you, everyone, do a mission one in that asset, $5 or $1, whatever, to sync up with that market. When I go from Ethereum to Bitcoin, I always start with $5 and do a mission one before I get started again. All right. That's what, all right. Now I'm working on bots. So that's a whole different conversation. So this, you have to figure out where you are. So I think the Purple Ninja, she doesn't use my spreadsheets, but she went through mission 1 through 3, and she's getting a little frustrated because she was hopping through the missions with 0.01 or 0.02 ETH, and she should have been, if you're at, let's say your mission goal is, let's say you have $10 in funds and your mission goal is $20, or wait, well, let's say it's $20. Mission 3, $2. All right, your trade size should be 0.05 ETH, not 0.01 ETH. So she went through the first 1 to 3 missions just doing 0.01 or 0.02 ETH, not scaling. We had a conversation about it. She's really, really good as a trader. I mean, she's just amazing at understanding the cycles. Anyway, this little spreadsheet is designed to be a guide. So as you advance, what should be blowing your mind? Okay, hold on a second here. What should be blowing your mind is are you hearing what I'm saying? Mission 1 is doubling your money as a training exercise. And it's expected, it is assumed that you will be able to double your money because that's lesson 1. That should hit you like a ton of bricks. I don't know what the S&P 500 is right now. Whatever it is, let's say it's 10% ROI, right? Take you 10 years to double your money if you're meeting that. If it's 3%, it's an ungodly long. If it's your bank CDs, it's an ungodly long period of time. It should blow your mind what I've been saying. Because for me, it's a foregone conclusion. It's 59 days, low leverage, full access to high leverage, 6 days. Probably faster with what I know now. Oh, all right, let's go back to spreadsheet. I use spreadsheet for position sizing. Okay. Now, I'm going to teach you something worth a lot of money to you if you're listening on how not to trade. Whoa, what's this, David? Yeah, this is me. This is me saying, okay, I'm trading Ethereum. Here's the price of Ethereum. What's my entry price? So what's Ethereum right now? Let's say I were to get 22222. All right. So let's say I got in a trade and it's 2222. And I set traps. I woke up in the middle of the night, and tells you what your trade entry price is. Fees at high leverage, probably 12%, getting in and out. My guess, roughly, provide you anyway. This is not accurate. This is just a guesstimation, right? So if I wanted to get a 33%, notice how it's highlighted in black. ROI, it needs a $10 movement. Well, let's take a look. Let's go to the middle one here. Let's go 3 minutes. You guys already know what my thing is for 3 minutes. Oh man, this is gonna be a pain to get there. Never mind. Let's just go back to this other one. Let's take a look at 3 minutes. Most likely when I set the traps at night, I already ran the numbers to get that 33%, if that's what my goal was based on the hourly. But anyway, that's getting kind of sophisticated, right? No, that's not what I wanted. No. 6 hours. I want the middle one. Here we go. I'm click happy today. Let's Go to 3 minutes. Oh, come on. So this is 3 minutes coming down. So between here, 22.19 in the middle Bollinger Band, 22.23. It's a $4 price movement. Going to the top Bollinger Band is almost 10, but it's not 10. Okay, so for what I would call beast mode trading, the market's not moving fast enough to do it the way I want to do it. Well, let's take a look at the 15-minute chart. Same process, same golf swing. Let's take a look at here, 2168, 2195. Oh yeah, we're at 10. Let's say 2170. In the middle Bollinger Band is, let's just say, it's $30 roughly. $30 movement would give me over 100% ROI. That's what this chart is for, right? ROI here, dollar. The purpose is here's your position, that your average entry, what kind of movement do you need to get, and what's the take profit price, and what is your ROI? My goal for an active trade is 33%. But if I'm doing a swing trade or something, going after 100% isn't really for the trade. It's not a portfolio. I'm not putting the whole portfolio at risk, right? I'm controlling that risk by 1/20th or 1/30th or 1/50th of the portfolio, or 1/10th. I've lost you, haven't I? Well, it just means you got stuff to learn, right? But this is one of the tools that's available. Trading reference Patreon. I think this is my latest. This is just a trading reference. So this this has been incorporated. I just created this as a reference tool all by itself, and I incorporated it into here. So this one actually can go away because this one's better. So I'm just going to move this into the archive. Because yeah, no, I don't have time. I don't have time to manage all this stuff. Let's see, funding model, accounts infrastructure, AI, Patreon level 3. Where's that? Do I have a beast mode? No, trade. Those are all out of it. Okay. So, all right. So this whole Patreon thing is designed for level 1, and I know I've got tiers here. They're open to everybody, but I don't have like bots. There's nothing in there. Level 3 leverage trading, that's kind of advanced stuff. But Cindy, you've got access through DDTC, right? The mystery school stuff. You have and that's not open. Sorry, guys. That's not open to everybody for the beast mode trading. But maybe I will go and revisit my trading spreadsheet for that, so that you can, have it available. People get in trouble. I had a young man that came and spent a couple days with me to learn this, and he was like nailing down his first trade. He got like 14% ROI, and he was nailing down 20%, and then he completed mission 1 a few days later, and then he just started getting greedy, which I warned him. But he's younger, and he liquidated himself because he didn't take good enough notes or something. He didn't have a strategy. He didn't call me to say, "Hey, this is happening. What should I do?" I could have guided him. When we have 333,333 members, I can outsource, and yeah, this is my project directory on my drive. These are all stuff that I'm working on, right? That isn't released to everybody. Oh, there's a tier 4 advanced, right? What's in there? Leverage price killer tool. Yeah, that's something that I actually have. I even am afraid of using the price killer tool, although I do price killing. Managing your leverage on high leverage trades is a secondary skill that folks need to learn. It's beyond the scope of this, how to get started with what a mission one is. However, more to come. I don't know if we get 1,000 Patreon members, that might provide me enough revenue that I can outsource some of the content and clean up these videos. This 1 hour video can probably be broken down into a 5 to 1 hour video. We'll get there. We're just not there today. Anyway, that's a start for the mission one. I need to keep these under an hour, and maybe I'll do a shorter one of these right after this. Mission one, high leverage and controlling your leverage concepts. That's what I'm thinking. Maybe I'll do that. All right. There'll be part 2. All right. We're gonna end the stream right now. We're gonna do part 2. Make sure you like, subscribe, all that cool stuff. Watch us on become a subscriber and stuff. Empower me to empower you. Kind of that's my whole context here. All right, ending this stream.